Sexual violence against civilians is a war crime and allegations against Russian soldiers in Ukraine are mounting. A woman describes her case in which two men abuse her for hours. She feels powerless, and is now trying to get to her children. Again and again Alina's voice fails, but she still wants to tell her story, how she was raped for hours by two Russian soldiers, because her husband is a Ukrainian soldier. Alina's report confirms human rights organizations' fears that Russia is deliberately using rape as a weapon in the war against Ukraine. It happened on the afternoon of April 3 in the Kherson region near the Black Sea. Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon I went to a grocery store. While I was waiting in line, Russian soldiers came in and started talking to customers, says Elena, whose real name is different. I didn't understand what it was about. But then a man pointed at her and said to the Russian soldiers, "This is a military man's wife." The war broke out because of people like that. Quote, Elena left the store and ran home, but the soldiers chased her. They came through the door behind me. I didn't have time to pull out my cell phone and call for help, says Elena. Without saying a word, they pushed me onto the bed, held me down with a machine gun and undressed me, says Elena, and bursts into tears. They hardly spoke, only sometimes they would scold me or say to each other, "Your turn." Quote, gathering evidence is difficult in war. Elena's case is far from the only one. So far, 7 raped women have called the emergency number of the Ukrainian women's rights organization La Strada. However, Elena Krywaljak, who works for La Strada, estimates the actual number of victims to be much higher. It could be hundreds or thousands of women and girls, she says.